Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit England. Have you noticed yet that the Ukrainians have been given all sorts of weaponry, right, by the West and by all sorts of different countries, especially Britain and America, who have supplied them with so much weapons so that they can defend themselves, right, against the savages that are attacking them. Why have they never extended that same benefit, yeah, to the Palestinians so that they could defend themselves against the savages that are attacking them? I don't even know how Yemen are for weaponry, whether or not Yemen have been given weapons so that they can defend themselves against the savages that are attacking them. Or is that only for the Caucasians? When Caucasians are being attacked, we supply them with weapons so they can defend themselves. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me, and a special thanks here to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages, I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all your messages for definite. So today we start off with congratulations to the Welsh football team. Right, last night Gareth Bale, right, was absolutely on fire. Right, and Wales are now one step closer, right, to the World Cup finals, right, getting there. And I really want to see Wales there. But I don't know if it's they've got either Ukraine or Scotland in the next round. Now you see, this needs a real dilemma, right? Because I want Wales there and I want Scotland there. Right, so I'm just hoping that that if maybe it might, if they can draw and both go through, that would be excellent. But I don't really want to see any of them get knocked out, because Wales haven't been there for, I think, 62 years. Right, Wales haven't blessed the World Cup finals. Right, and the last time they was there, right, I believe they was in the I think it was around the quarter-finals, right, and they met up with a young Pele. And obviously, the rest is history. Because I'm quite sure that would have been one of the years when Brazil may well have went on to win it. I'm not sure, but may well have. Right? And obviously, that wasn't a person that you really wanted to meet, right, at any stage within your football career, right, was to meet like Pele. Right? Yeah, so that's what happened to them last time they was there, right? And the Ukraine, yeah, have literally started to take back territory that they've lost to the Russians, which means that the Ukrainians are getting, they seem to be getting so much more confidence. Do you know what I mean? To if they're starting to actually take back territory off the Russians now, obviously that means that they're attacking the Russians rather than just defending themselves. Which obviously is a fantastic thing for them. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the sooner this war finishes is the better. Then I'm quite sure the world will have all of its focus, right, on what is going on in Palestine and what is going on in the Yemen and all the other wars and all the other people that are in real problems, like the Uyghurs. I'm quite sure the world will start to look at all of these type of things. Yeah, right. Right, but as I said, yeah, the Ukrainians are just like they're really fighting back, and they for a country that 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 I thought Russia would just walk over, right? I'm kind of surprised, happily surprised for them, because obviously that this type of thing shouldn't happen to anybody, right? No matter what color you are, or whether you're brown, white, or black, right? These type of things, right? For all of us, every last one of us should think about what's going on in Ukraine, right? And know that when these things are happening in places like the Yemen and places like Palestine, we need to get in and get these things stopped. Right? That's just a simple fact. But obviously, there's too much division between us all, right? And a lot of that division has been put there on purpose, right? So we can have these culture wars and these race wars, you know. So a lot of these distractions have been put there for these reasons. And I don't know if you not realize this, right? But people who are going to food banks, right, are refusing to take potatoes because they haven't got enough money to boil the potatoes. So they're just saying, well, I can't take those, So because this, it's just, listen, I'm quite enjoying, right, seeing Britain tear itself to pieces, right? Because the people of it's well deserved, by the people of this country. Now, the right wing of this country, the people who keep on voting the Tories in, right? All of this, right? What is going on in this country? It's well deserved for you people. You deserve every piece of it, right? You deserve Boris Johnson, right? You didn't deserve Jeremy Corbyn. Nah. No, Jeremy Corbyn was far too good, right, for the people of this country, right? And you get what you deserve, right? And this, right, is what you won. This was your prize that you won. What amazes me, right, is the Ukraine, right, vote in a comedian, and the guy is just like excellent. Do you know what I mean? Just like, one of the world's greatest, at this time, right, the world's greatest leader, right? We vote in a clown, and we get a clown. I mean, who knew? How comes the comedian can be such a seriously, fantastic politician, and we vote for a clown, and we get a clown? Just seriously, do you know what I mean? If you vote for a clown, you're supposed to get a genius. Ukraine has proved that, because when they voted him in, I can remember myself taking the piss, right? And then obviously throughout, obviously he's come, into everybody's like living room, over the whole invasion thing, and people have seen actually this man. He's an absolutely fantastic politician, right? So it's just for me, I don't know. I can't make any sense of it, right? That they vote. They vote for the comedian. They don't get the comedian. They get a serious politician. We vote for the clown. We get the damn clown. Right, Prince William, right, and Kate, right. Obviously, they're going to the Bahamas. They're touching that. I think they've already touched down in the Bahamas, because something. Yeah, they must have been so happy to get themselves the fuck out of Jamaica, right? Because the Jamaican Prime Minister just stood up there and said, "Look, what I do know, Jamaica is going in a different direction." So Jamaica's going in a different direction. Right. So the Jamaicans was explaining to them, this year is your last royal visit. No more royal visits after this one. Right. And what really gets me, right, is like, for me, right, I told all these people, right, that Brexit was going to be horrendous for this country, and I didn't want Brexit, but right, as it's come along, and it's just got better and better and better for me. It's just got, because I'm watching these absolutely racist fools destroy this country that has racially abused me my whole life, and now I'm watching the same idiots, right, destroy this country, right? And I once used to describe myself as a proud Englishman. Black English, right? Which do you realise, right? If especially if you was in the Caribbean or whatever, right? And you go to, as you say, you go to someone's house or whatever, right? And you got like people from different nationalities there. Did you know, right, that Black English used to trump the lot? Trump Black American. Right, Black English was always the one that was at the top. Always, right? Black English. Trust me on this, right? Sometimes them flipping French used to come along with that goddamn accent. Right? And you know, that's how they do that. We're on par with them French, right? But, right, as I said, black English was always the one, especially when you're in the Caribbean, right? Your black English and the level of respects, right, was just unbelievable, right? Not anymore. Right, not anymore. Now we's at the bottom, right? We's lowered, right? Just now, right? We're just a laughing stock all around the world. We're just like a laughing stock internationally, right? And at home too. Just a complete joke. That's how people look at this country now. It's just a complete joke. That's why the Jamaicans have said, you know what, we are going in a different direction, because you know people don't want to be associated with Britain anymore, right? You know all the Jamaican police officers. Yeah, you know they've got a crown on their shoulder, right? You know their court system is based off of ours, right? And all those things there, right? And you people, right, have alienated those people so much, right? I don't even think you realise, yeah, how much the people of the Caribbean used to love the royal family. Used to love the royal family, right? And all of this, you know, it's the turnaround from since Brexit, from since you people voted, right, with your racist self, and you really showed the world, right, that you know what, you're a bunch of racist, hateful idiots. And that, right, is the thing that's made all these countries turn around. Barbados, right, Jamaica, right? That you know. So now they're gonna have to strip off all the crown from all these places, right, and replace it with their own Jamaican emblem, right? Because you know why? Again, because even though, right, Jamaica is run off of the crown and all these things there, the motherfuckers still need a visa to come to this country. It's bullshit, right? It's fucked up. That's why they say, you know what? I don't want to be with you fools no more. Or they can fuck off on a bomber clat or no. Right? Sorry, but that's so it is. Right? I don't know if you saw the pictures of Boris Johnson as a lonely figure, right? At the NATO, when they'll stand up, I think they was waiting to take a photograph or whatever. Right, I think they must have been waiting for Biden to walk in, right? But there was one point, yeah, where Boris Johnson was just there, right, as a lonely figure, all by himself with no one. All the other world leaders were behind him, shaking hands and all them things there, huddling each other, and the fist bumping and all them things there. And Boris Johnson was just stood there, all by himself, just looking around with his hands in his pockets, right, looking like a scruffy tramp, right? When you looked at all the other world leaders, yeah, they was all pristine. When I tell you, you know already, all proper pristine. Please make sure you look at these pictures, because when the camera goes to Boris Johnson, yeah, Boris Johnson looks like he slept in whatever that was he was wearing, right? No matter what, right? This might, and this is the person that's on the world stage representing us, right? A man who looks like no better than a scarecrow, right? He absolutely looked like a tramp, right? And he was stood there like Billy No Mates, right, with all the other, right, NATO world leaders, right, just dissing him, just disrespecting him, because that's what's happening to Britain on the international stage. Britain is just being disrespected. Look, if you look at, right, the fact that all the other leaders are basically pushing Boris to the front, saying, yeah, you tell Putin, right, what weapons you're going to send and what you're going, right. So much so, right, that Boris is the Kremlin's number one target, right, of all the other world leaders, right, because it's easy, right, to be pushing out, you know what, yeah, we'll give you these weapons, we'll give you this money, we'll do this and we'll do that, and we'll take out these sanctions, and right, all those things, easy. It's easy, pushing out all those things, right? But when it actually comes down to it now, right, Britain, right, is the one who Russia is seeing doing all these things, right? And Britain and Russia has already separated Britain from the EU. They've already done that. They've done that. They've done that way back in 2016. They separated us, right? So let me tell you, the first target, right, for Russia, right, if they have to fire a nuclear weapon outside of Ukraine, they will fire that at us. We'll be the first person that they fire, right? Which is, the Russians are always testing our security, as you know, right? Where they fly their MiGs, right, on our coastlines, right? Or they send their submarines, right, around our coastlines, and they're messing about, and we find them messing about around where our internet cables are, and these type of things. So the Russians, right, have always been their target, right, outside of all those ex-Russian regions, right? So, and right now, yeah, all those world leaders, right, when it comes down to war, right, they'll push Boris up front. Wait till it comes down to trade deals, see what happens then, because in Brexit news, right, Biden just snubbed Boris Johnson, right, with the Brexit deal again. He just said, I'm not really feeling that. Right, because you know already, yeah, that obviously Britain thought it was much more important than it really is, right? When Obama said, listen, you got to understand, right, that if you was to leave the EU, then you're going to be at the back of the queue, because we have massive trade deals that we're doing, in with big groups, right, and us against those type of trade deals, right, there's no comparison. Okay, only a fool would say, well, I'm going to put Britain ahead of doing a trade deal with the EU. Only a fool would do that, right? And that's why I always tell you people, yeah, that Brexit was one of the most racist things the world has ever seen, right? Brexit, you got to understand, yeah, that Brexit is up there with, like, with things like, with slavery, with the Holocaust, right, with ethnic cleansing, and with all, Brexit is behind those things, but it's up there with them, right? That's the level of racism that it takes, right, for someone to vote, right, against their own interest, right? Look at the sanctions that have been taken on Russia, right? We have introduced similar type of sanctions upon ourselves. Obviously, we can still trade, right? But we've put so much red tape in front of that trade, right, that you can only break that down and say, well, I mean, why would a country do that to itself, right? And it's a lack, because it's racism and just real stupidity. Look, I was speaking to a Brexiter yesterday, right? Sorry. And I tried to explain to them, look, I don't know what it is. I can't remember how much it is that we paid to the EU, what we used to pay to be in the EU. But I'm sure it was under 10. Let's just say it was under 10 million anyway, right? So I tried to explain to him, right, that just with us losing the banking of the euro, which we don't use in this country, the euro. So the EU gave us that gratis, right? Just losing that alone, right, loses this country £100 billion. And his answer to that was, yeah, but we still got our independence. And I thought to myself, something, he's an idiot. Right, and a lot of Speaking to idiots is just pointless, right? I have not spoken to one Brexiter, right, that I have found sensible, and I've spoken to a lot of Brexiters, and I have not spoke to one, right, that I have found that has said anything that is sensible to me, something that I could say, actually, you've got a point. I've gone over my time already, but I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish up soon, right? So not one Brexiter, not one, right? And with more related Brexit news, Canada has vowed to put hormone injected beef onto our shelves for us in the trade deal that we're going to have with the Canadians. So they're already telling us, in that trade deal, yeah, you've got to be accepting, right, our hormone injected beef, which obviously is not allowed within the EU. But obviously, once your standards is dropped in your country, uh, you know, all things can go really badly for you. Just ask all of our rivers, the P&O workers, or the farmers or the fishing industry. Right? Just ask all of those people what happens, right, when you're living in a country, right, where they deregulate all of the rules. Anyway, guys, I have to wrap this up now. So this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.